You want a nail shape that's going to do a couple things for you. Obviously, one that gets a good tone, but also, just as important, you want a nail shape that's going to go through the string with the greatest of ease, and therefore make your finger work better. Now, you want to keep in mind that you're going to use as much of the edge of the nail as possible. And let me just explain. The next two diagrams will show you what I'm talking about. The two guys in these two diagrams here, numbers 1 and 2, they've done two really common things. The first guy has rounded off his nail. He's probably worked really hard on it, rounded it off nicely. But you notice where the string is exiting. Now the string is starting where it should, that's fine. But it's going up to the middle of his nail and it's leaving the string. And he's wasted half of his nail there. He could be using that nail to make tone. He's getting half the tone he could by using the nail surface you see there. Guy number 2, well, looks like he's tried a little bit of a ramp here, but not enough, because it turned out to be a point. And as you can see, the string again is starting where it should, but it's exiting in the middle of the nail. Not good, not good. It's going to give him a thin sound. Because of that extra point there, it's going to give him an even thinner tone. Let me show you what's happening here. As you can see from the diagrams you just saw, they're exiting right in the middle of the nail. See that? They're starting there, which is great, and they're going play, 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 exit, right there. They're wasting all this nail here. See that? Half the nail, which is they could be using that for tone production. Now let's take a look at what guys numbers 3 and 4 have done. Now you notice in number 3 here, he starts where he should. The string travels up the ramp, exits at the other side of his nail. He's using all of his nail. He files it in an slightly upward ramp. This is good because, first of all, as I mentioned, he's using all of his nail. It's more of a straight line instead of perfectly curved to the fingertip. But here the string is traveling uphill, which means as you're playing that the nail is actually helping push the string down into the guitar a bit. This is going to help in getting a fatter tone, and also later more of a variety of tone if he wants. Person number 4, as you can see, has filed his nail in a slightly different type of ramp. It goes slightly downward. This is good if you're the type that plays straight on to the guitar, not at a particular angle. Again, the important thing here is, though, that he's using all of his nail. He's starting where he should. The string's traveling, this time down the ramp, and exiting at the other side of the nail. It's more of a straight line again, but he's using all of his nails. So either of these ramps will work. Number 3 is a little bit more versatile and probably more widely used for a good reason, but they'll both do fine, just as long as you're using all of your nail. So, just to explain with the real nail here, again, the string is starting there. It's traveling, 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 and exiting way over here. That's a lot more nail than people 1 and 2 in the diagrams before did. They exited here. These guys are exiting over here. So I want you to experiment with that and try to do the same thing. It really does make a big difference. Let's talk about equipment now. There's some basic equipment we all should have. Let me go over these. You can probably see them on your screen now. There's this type of nail file here. Now, this is commonly called, I've heard it commonly called, a Diamond Deb nail file. This is probably not, it probably doesn't have real diamonds on it because it didn't cost me that much money. It was like $2. But you can see it has this like sort of dust on the file. I'm kind of moving it around so it'll glint in the light there. And that's probably some sort of metallic dust that's on there. And that files your nail very finely and carefully. We have two sides. We have a shaping side, turn it over, and you have a finishing side. When given a choice, I always use the smoothest side. I use the finishing side. The shaping side's a little rough. In fact, if it's a new file, which this is, what I do is I take some sandpaper or something and I go over the edge of the finishing side to make it even smoother. The smoother the better. Okay? It's like a fine-tuning knob on your stereo. Okay, nail file number 1, good, A+. Nail file number 2, let's take a look at this. Now this is a common nail file, This is a larger version of what you'll find, let's say, in a nail clipper set, you know, the kind that folds out. And this kind is like a grid. It's a metallic grid. There are lines that are carved into this metal here, this metal plate. That's bad because that's going to really grind your nail up like crazy. You might as well, you know, go to the curbside and file your nail. So that nail goes over there, that nail file. Bad, bad, bad. Now here's something that looks a little weird. It looks a little worn out. This is what I've been using now for 2 years. This cost me like $1.50, if that. And it's great because it's got 4 sides. It's got, you can see in this case, it's got a dark blue, light blue, and 2 shades of pink. And for those of you who have black and white TV, I'll just explain what the different sides do. You have quite a rough side here, less rough, even less rough, and less rough. So you basically the grades get finer as you go. I like these a lot because they're bigger. You can really get them underneath your nail there, and you have the finishing sides that I certainly use. Now this is worn out a bit, but it's lasted me a couple years, so that's pretty amazing, I think. Now let's move these because I want to talk about this paper here. All right. This is a very fine grade sandpaper. This is 500 grade, and in fact, this light blue or light gray shade of paper is even special, a more special type of paper. It's like I think wet and dry they call it, finishing paper. And this is what I do with this. What I do with this is it comes in sheets like this, first of all. I buy them in sheets. It's not expensive at all. What you do is you take off a little bit here. Okay, this is really interesting, isn't it? This is drama. Here, not quite square, but it's all right. Now I have myself a little piece of finishing paper. What I do now is, again, I like really fine stuff. So this is fine already, but I'll take this and I'll rub it against the other sheet of paper. Rub, rub, rub. Until I get this down even finer. Oh, that's pretty good right there. And then you carry this in your pocket, and you fold it up, put it in your guitar case. This is going to last you quite a while. And of course, you have the rest of this big sheet here to tear off little bits here and there. Really good for the nail. I would suggest this highly. Very good. Now, about filing the nail itself. This is what you want to do. I'll use my World War II special here. All right. You always file looking at your fingernails like this. Never like this or like this. Always facing straight at your face. You take the nail file and you just put it slightly underneath your nail there at an angle. And you start filing away. Now it's underneath the nail. It's not straight on. It's underneath. Not straight on, but underneath. And as you can see in the diagram that's on your screen there, you kind of eyeball down the file. Down the file there. And that's the angle you want to look at your nail at. Alright? Now what you're seeing there, when you eyeball it down the file like that, is you're seeing the edge of your nail. That's an opposite view of what the string is seeing. So that's a good angle to look at. And you're looking for a straight line.